I was at a workplace conference recently and a woman came up on stage and proudly declared, "There is no such thing as a nuclear family." This is a lie, and in this video I will explain why. Before we begin, let's become clear on what a nuclear family is. A nuclear family refers to the nucleus or core bonds between parents and children. These are the people who you want to come home to, and regardless of their shortcomings, these are the people who you love. Because a father simply isn't a provider, but someone who makes you feel safe and gives you the courage to explore the big wide world. And a mother, with her emotional intelligence, creates connection within the family with kindness, compassion, and love. And this allows children to rise up and prepares them to leave the family nursery when the time arrives. The reality is that 1 in 4 children experience divorce before the age of 18, and this is really bad for children because the stability, safety, and security that you have from a connection with your biological mother and father is crucial for the child's brain development, especially between the ages of 0 and 4. Our forefathers were stolen from us in the Industrial Revolution when men left their farms, their bakeries, and their work sheds in search of white-collar jobs in modern cities. And this led to the loss of rites of passage, which transformed boys into men, and this wasn't possible in the absence of fathers. And for our daughters, they started to acquire masculine qualities to compensate for the lack of a strong, healthy father figure in their lives. Our mothers were stolen from us the moment career was prioritized at the expense of motherhood. It is important to remember that the most valuable thing that we can provide for our kids is not the best education or extracurricular activities or getting them to escape boredom through screen time, but rather the most important thing is quality time with their parents, and this is only possible through emotional availability. And this is how we provide the nurturing support that comes through unconditional love. When you look outside Western culture, a family unit doesn't consist of simply a mother and a father, but rather grandparents, cousins, uncles, and aunts. And this creates a natural community around kids where grown-ups look after kids, not just their own. And this creates a community buffer where no kid feels like they're left behind, alone, or abandoned. And if this was the case today, we wouldn't need the brute force techniques that I teach on this channel to regulate the nervous system, because it is auto-regulated by the community around you. Today we can find like-minded people and be part of a community anywhere. Yet the roles and values of a traditional family is degrading, and this is coming from the decline of a single bond, the core, the nucleus that holds the family together, and this is quite simply love. The promise of falling in love is becoming rapidly endangered, and this has come about because the value of being adored by a special someone has been replaced by the empty attention that you get from strangers you'll never meet. And when this coping mechanism begins to fail, this is when people decide to settle because they're single, they're feeling lonely, and they're running out of options, and this is when they settle for less rather than for love. Without the strength of love holding a family together, marriages begin to fail because of addictions, abuse, and affairs. And instead of addressing the core needs of what holds a family together, we may be forced to abandon the most important people in our life. And without true love, nuclear families may become extinct. True love isn't dead. We are dead without true love, and many marriages stop working before ever discovering what lies beyond the temporary chemical high designed for reproduction and parental care. The love of family goes beyond how we feel about them, And love is present even when there is no secure attachment or healthy separation from your family, for example, in adoption. And even when there is conflicting ideologies or lifestyle or political beliefs, we find that love cuts through this as if they were never there. And we've seen this time and time again through human history, where we show up for our family in times of great need. So how do we bring back the traditional values that a family has to offer? We begin by forgiving, and the beginning began when we were born. Our parents have had our best interests at heart, yet no childhood is perfect. So we forgive the most important people in our life. And forgiveness isn't something that you say, but a transformation of how you feel when you view your parents through the eyes of unconditional love. Only then do we see the behavior of our parents through their kind eyes. We forgive them for making the mistakes that they did when trying to protect us. We forgive them for being unreasonable when we are yet to think for ourselves. We forgive them for disrespecting our dreams because they cared for our long-term security. By forgiving, we transcend everything that has happened before because our relationship to what matters has changed. When you find love in your heart, the prayer of forgiveness will naturally unfold. By forgiving once, you forgive all. This is how you create a nuclear family. So when you do find yourself with that special someone, you're not coming from reactive childhood patterns, but rather from a deep space of love. And because you've faced your pain, you've now created emotional availability to help each other grow. By forgiving, we break the transmission of intergenerational pain and provide our kids with the love, safety, and security that they deserve, because we do not arrive at love by ourselves. It is through each other that we learn to love ourselves. And you can learn more about the power of love by clicking this video here.